Sometimes I look back at some of these and I'm like, really? What was I thinking? And maybe I wasn't. What is going on, everybody? If you're new around here, my name is Finn Badgley. I'm a commercial fashion portrait photographer and all-around content creator, and today I'm sharing with you some of the beginner photography mistakes that I made so that way you don't have to. And these are some pretty silly ones, so buckle up and stick around. So, you're starting out in photography and you're kind of learning the differences between aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. And you're trying to figure out, okay, how do these all fit together? What do they do? Sometimes you make some mistakes. And that's what I did here. So what I would do is I would put the camera on either shutter priority or I'd put it on full manual. But I think at the time I was just using shutter priority because I was just trying to kind of figure out each individual setting. But I would manually set my ISO. And here's the thing. I knew that the ISO sensitivity was the sensitivity of the sensor to light. So I was like, great, if it's more sensitive to light, then I should be able to have a higher shutter speed and then all my images will be nice and sharp. And I would take a bunch of photos. I'm like, why is it super overexposed? I don't understand. And then I'd switch it back to auto and everything would be fine. I'm like, I don't get it. Maybe I should just leave it on auto, but I didn't. And I did more investigating and figured out why. The reason is I was shooting at ISO 12,800. The entire time. I can't make this up. At the time, my brain went, yes, it's more sensitive, so naturally I'll have it at the highest sensitivity, not knowing that that caused a lot of grain. So you can imagine me many, many years ago with a camera taking photos. Why is it so bright? Why is it so grainy? I don't get it. And then you look at my ISO and it is 12,800. Now, I have been a professional photographer for multiple years. So if you're doing things like this, know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I don't do this anymore. Trust me. But it is absolutely hilarious to look back at and think of because we're always learning and none of us start out knowing everything. So this is just a fun little mistake that's funny to think back on. And it reminds me to stay humble because I definitely had humble beginnings. Now the other one is particularly with skin retouching, and that is when you are retouching a model, a portrait, anything like that. When you're retouching a person, a lot of times you'll really focus on the face, making sure there's no blemishes or anything, and the face will look absolutely perfect. But you forget about the rest of them. The neck, the hands, the arms, the legs, whatever part of their skin is showing, if you really retouch the face and don't retouch anything else, it's gonna be blatantly obvious. And for a lot of these images, trust me, it was. I don't think I have any examples because it was quite a while ago, but if I do, I'll put them here. If not, maybe I'll write a funny little message or something. Yeah, so editing Finn, do your thing. But yeah, just whenever you're retouching people, if you're gonna retouch the face, retouch the rest of them. Please. Just even if it's minimal, just make it so it's not so stark and different. It's like when you see somebody who doesn't do the right shade of makeup to the rest of the body and their face is orange and the rest of them is like pale white or something like that. It's like that, but it's with smooth skin. It'll just have like pores and everything, more skin texture on the rest of them, and then the face will be like porcelain and it will stick out like a sore thumb, and nobody ever likes that. So these are some fun little mistakes that I made early on in my photography journey, and I am sharing them with you so that way you don't make them like I did. These are some pretty silly ones, but you know what? We all make these little mistakes, and if you're making these mistakes too, it's okay, because know that I did, and I have been a professional photographer for multiple years now, so there is light at the end of the tunnel. Now, with all that said, I hope you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it, or entertainment. Maybe you got a good laugh, maybe you got some value out of it. Who knows? Either way, drop a like if you like this kind of thing. You want to see more different mistakes that I made early on in my career. This was even before my career. This was like when I was doing it as a hobby. Thank God. Yeah, that would have been bad otherwise. Leave a comment for what different mistakes you made early on. We could all just have a good laugh. Everyone needs one now and then. subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos so you never miss an upload. Work hard, rest often, and as always, I will see you on the next one.